Foolproof.
You are live. Yay! Here from Burlington, North Carolina. You do not clap, Tony. Burlington, North Carolina. I'm Jeanne Robertson, and this ready for, is it? Yes, 12:01. Jeanne live from the back porch. So I've never seen a group of people more than my fans that said, are you and Tony arguing? Are you and Norma Rose arguing? Are you and Patrick arguing? None of us argue. But in December, Patrick told me that he would love to play in this golf tournament here this weekend. If he could. He does it every year. Of course, they didn't have it last year because of COVID. But he's playing golf. And so then last week he had a speech. Yay for a speech. So we said, we can do this. We got this. I like it better on the back porch with all the room and we can see the trees and all. But we're right here in now. There's Tony back there. She's afraid y'all can't hear her.
I don't know if I'd be heard.
Well, you just raise it up a decibel.
Won't let me get close to the mic.
I know. You had. Oh, and by the way, logistically, on the worldwide scale on Polestar last week, Tony and I scored 13th.
Lucky number 13.
And of course, Opryland was first with 2 million listeners, so we're not quite there, but we're doing okay here. And ta-da, our special guest of the day is bestest friend. That's what this button says, Norma Rose. And y'all have loaded the bucket with your questions, and I've got questions, and we've got all this stuff back here on the table. Show and tell. Welcome, Norma Rose.
It's good to be here.
I know.
It's been a long time.
And they thought we were angry at each other too because you hadn't been on, and therefore,
I wish it were that simple.
I know,
but it wasn't. I know.
You don't have to tell anything, or you can tell what happened.
Okay. Real briefly, I'm Norma Rose, but in the last 6 weeks, I thought my name was Abnormal Rose because of this dizziness. And at first they thought it was vertigo, but then I tested for inner ear. But my treatment has been PT, which is surprising to me. I didn't understand.
But you're off balance.
Yeah, it's all about that. PT, it's all about balance, and I feel like I'm training for some kind of Olympics. I'm on boards, I'm on soft surfaces, I'm just doing everything, and it may lead into another career.
But when you first got it,
I was spinning,
and your head, and you thought it was vertigo, and so did the doctors.
It was symptomatic, but
okay.
I did not test positive for the vertigo test, and so they didn't know what to do but send me to PT, and it's been great. You just don't know, and he gives me an A+, and I like him. And
the school teacher comes out.
I said, how'd I do? He said, you get an A+. I said, oh, I'll be back.
Well, and everybody just thought, what's wrong? Y'all caught her cheating on the charcuterie board.
Now that charcuterie board thing just about did me in, but I studied it a lot, and I'll be ready next time.
Okay. She was ready this time, but she had come over here and made hers up the night before and hid it all, and then hid stuff from us. We won't go into it. I don't
No, but I loved it. I learned a lot. I really did.
So
can I?
Do you want to, so you can take your coat off?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay. I put the clip up about Vegas, and I put the clip up about buttons.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all watch that clip on the Facebook, you don't go to watch it now because she wants to show you these. One of our show. We listed what are all the things we could show and tell them. So tell them what you got on.
This is the TJ Maxx jacket that I put the St. John buttons on, and it's about 20.
Excuse me. Jeannie's St. John button.
Right.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have it on today, but I've told you about the gussets. So I have the gussets here, and it works after about 20 years. And
turn. The gusset is how many inches?
Oh, it's about a good 36 in it, but it works. It just works, And
Don't you fall over in here.
It's a good one. But I'm going to take it off because it's a little warm in here. And
so those are my buttons are still at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Your suit.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
We're going to have to keep up with all this. We got to make a list of where these buttons will go one day.
Okay. Because right now, if something happened to us, I believe they'd go to your daughter-in-law.
Yes, and I think Amy knows about it. She's a smart girl.
Right.
And this jacket would be plenty big for Amy.
Mine's up there going through clothes and saying, well, these doesn't have any buttons on it. Right. Okay. Well, we'll get that. Now, what we do starting off, Norma Rose, is give prizes. We're going to
Okay.
give 3 prizes.
Do I get one?
No. You do
Okay,
not
excuse
get, you do not get a prize. But I've got a whole list of things we're going to ask you about, but we do give prizes. Because one time in Winston-Salem, over there where you went to school in Wake Forest, I was in the toilet stall, and the 2 ladies talking were saying, "Are you going to stay for this banquet?" They had been. And then it says, "Yeah, they're giving away a television, and if you're not here, you can't win." Well, all of ours are here, but I know the importance of these. Would you pull one out and give it to me?
Oh my.
Okay. This is the first person, and these 3 winners will have their choice of the different swag items I have, beginning with my book, and then you can get any of the 9 DVDs, and they're long, and because we want everybody to get their money's worth, and the CDs are corresponding, and you can get the baseball cap that says Left Brain right there, Tony. Thank you very much. And so here's the first winner for the day, and you choose, and if you can't find anything that you want, give it. Father's Day is coming up. Okay, Gina Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
Gina Hoffman. GINAHOFFMAN. Okay, and somebody's mentioned hotel security. And anyway, but Jenna Hoffman is the winner, Tony. Patrick's not here, so Jenna, your name cannot go across the bottom because we don't have that all set up.
We don't know how to do
All right,
it.
draw again. But we're doing the show okay, if you ask me. Okay. Gayla Bloodworth.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one, too, she says about whatever story. Gayla, Gala, Tony Bloodworth. And y'all have to take these and you have to email Tony, Toni in the blue top, at JeanneRobertson.com and say, this is my snail mail address, or please send this to my who-and-so at this address. In other words, we can't figure out where to send it with just your name. All right, I picked another one, and here it is. And it is Janet Britt, and listen to this, talking about Norma Rose. I'm glad to hear she's better.
And I'm thankful.
Y'all don't know. I'd say, can't you just come over here and sit in the chair? Jeannie, I really can't.
I'm
So you
staying
got-
home. I'm homebound.
So Janet Britt. Okay, now the next logistics before we go to the questions. Tony, do you have logistics?
I do, but first they want to know, what are the words on Norma's red pen?
Bestest
Just
friend.
You want to tell about
Let
that?
me have the pen. Can you give it to me? Don't
Well.
punch a hole in anything. We had these made when I had a bestest friend weekend one
In
time.
Louisville.
Everybody was there in Louisville. We had limited, 500 people came. Oh, we had the best time. Next, so you can't go up. Do I go up? Over?
There you go.
Do you
There
see
go.
bestest
Perfect.
friend?
That looks good.
Needs to say
That's the
Jeannie's
button.
bestest friend. I have to fix that. You kept that button all those years
Yes, yes. This and
with all that
several-
other jewelry you've got.
Yeah, but this has been a good one, and I feel like this has grown from you to
Yeah.
all of these people. I feel like I got all of your friends are my friends,
Well, I think so.
and friends
too,
are
and that's
friends are
fine with
friends.
me.
So it's really been a good journey.
Okay, Tony,
Okay,
while we look at our
logistics.
notes, you
Okay.
go with the logistics. Where
First, we
my notes?
want to make sure everyone knows. What are you looking for?
You go
Okay.
ahead. I'm looking for my
We
notes.
want to make sure everyone knows that there are now 33 shows currently on sale. They're all over the country, so I hope there'll be one near you and you can get tickets and come. Daytona Beach and Columbia, South Carolina were added this week, and there'll be a couple more next week. There are also 20 shows that you can sign up for early access. So altogether, there are 53 cities that we're scheduled to go into the rest of 2021 and halfway through 2022. They're going to be great shows. It looks like probably they'll be at full capacity in most places. And so we want to fill them up, sell them out. And Jeannie will get to do lobby meet and greets, be out
We
there
hope so.
before and after. We hope that's up to each venue and each
Yeah.
area. So, we don't know what'll happen yet, but it's coming and it's going to be great. Also, real quick, this is when you're ordering something on it. We've said this before, but I've had 2 or 3 people this week ask me this. Our ordering site is run by PayPal. It looks like you need a PayPal account to order, but you do not. You just continue to process it, click on the thing that says PayPal, and then you will have the option to use any of the major credit cards. I personally don't have a PayPal account, and I've ordered off of the site to see how it works. And it does work that way. It's just, it confuses you because you think I can't order this way. And then they'll write and say, I don't know how to order. And so it's better if you order online. That gives us a permanent record of what you ordered. So if you forget later which one you ordered for somebody, we can help you with that. So that's about it. Okay.
All right. Now we've got questions from y'all, and I'm going to ask 2 or 3. And if they don't lead us to do some of our show and tells, we're going to do it anyway. Are you with me?
Oh, yes. Oh,
But wait,
got
let
some
me
show
just
and
give
tell.
them a chance here. But we want to answer a lot of things. And we look in here and we just pick one out. And this question is from Mary DeRamus Lewis. I'm curious what Norma Rose will bring for all to snack on when she visits this time.
I didn't see any snacks come
I
in
didn't
with
see
her.
you come in with any
I
snack.
didn't.
You didn't?
No, I didn't bring snacks this time.
Okay.
'Cause-
Well,
But
that's okay.
I'll have them next time. But all
Well, I
those
want those
speeches,
brownies.
you just make sure you could do all those speeches because I can't help you with that.
The
the
speeches.
speeches.
Okay, I'll go do the speeches. Mary, she didn't bring us anything.
I
to
didn't
eat
bring
this
anything
time.
today.
Another question right here.
But I'm going to the grocery store later, so I may slip over with something.
Do you go to the grocery store about every day?
Well, a lot of times because I cook a lot.
You look good. You're all dressed up like that. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Is that a flea market?
That's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay, hurry.
I
we'll see.
wore this to tell you about.
Oh, here's a good one. Does Norma Rose ever shop at Salvation Army stores or stores like that? Carolyn Allen from Southport, North Carolina.
Yes, I do. And my mother was the biggest Salvation Army shopper. She took things and came home with things, but she taught me all about how to be resourceful.
So you get your clothes?
Mama got a lot of her clothes there, and she looked better than anybody else. I mean, they would say,
In
"Where did
Louisville.
you get this?" And but she knew how to do it, and
That's
yeah.
where you got it from.
and I think it was. I treat it like a consignment shop
Mhm.
because the people are bringing in stuff and turning it over to them. But it's a lot of good stuff there, and you're helping someone too.
You are helping, and y'all talked me into going, and I went. And when I was having my rehab for my thing, I said, the guy had on an Elon shirt, and it had a collar. It was a really nice shirt. And I said, do you go to Elon? He said, no. When I got this job, I heard I had to wear a collared shirt. And I went out here to the Salvation Army or somewhere, and I bought all these different shirts. And I went out to get some for my grandson, and they were gone. I can't get there and find stuff.
And when you're in different towns, it depends on the town. I've learned, and they're all good towns, but some small and some big, that a lot of times, well, of course, these stores line up with the people there. It's more like the people in that community. And so you sort of know what to to expect. You know?
So there was not an accident that all those Elon shirts somebody had brought. They were brand new, had brought them in. I mean, because
it could have been a business. See, a business
getting ready.
Getting ready. They had
Can't find many Auburn
too
ones,
many.
can we?
When I was teaching, this is good. This guy came in with a Wake Forest cap on. I said, "Oh, I didn't know you wouldn't like Wake Forest." And he said, "I found it at the Salvation Army." And I said, "Well, it's a great cap."
I know. It's a good cap. Wherever you can find stuff. By the way, have you met Charles Barkley yet?
I have not met him, but I love him on TV, and I'm just a fan. I could sit here all day and tell his stories.
We won't keep doing, but I will tell y'all this: if you weren't on my show Thursday night when I popped up for a few minutes, Charles Barkley just gave. He's always given millions to Auburn. He gives to Auburn, but he gave 2 predominantly black universities, one in Georgia, one in North Alabama, this week $1 million each. And are y'all ready for this? He gave $1,000 to every person connected with education in the county where he grew up, Leeds, Leeds, Alabama. That means teachers, custodians, staff, people in Central. He just gave them all $1,000. I just hope they get to have the
And then the
$1,000.
students, I think in that same article, he gave the students laptops and Wi-Fi.
That's right.
He did that back a year ago
He just
Okay.
gives
when
them.
COVID started, so,
So-
they could do their work.
Mhm.
I'll meet him one day and I'm gonna say, War Eagle, thank you.
I mean, we could sit and talk all
Okay.
day. Charles,
But
you don't know what you're
y'all,
missing.
That's nice.
Oh,
I
I knew that,
The
though.
last, here's another draw. See what this question is for Norma Rose. Hi from Chattanooga, Donna Crystal. Glad that Norma Rose is feeling better. Have you ever been back to Vegas or maybe gone to Cherokee for a little gambling since your trip? Don't go to Vegas without a badness. I played that one last Monday and
Yeah.
Tuesday.
We went back to Vegas, didn't we? Haven't we been twice?
I don't think so.
Well, but I've been to Cherokee.
Mhm.
No.
But you're not a big gambler.
No, I'm
No.
not. It didn't.
But they want to know. I don't know if we'll pull this question. What happened to the money? So,
Okay.
I know what happened to the money.
I know too.
So who's going to tell it? When I'm here every week and you're not, so why don't you tell it?
As I remember, we discussed that we would buy something. And
Together.
Yes. And when we got back to this nice big place we were staying, it was grand. They had these shops that were really fancy shops. And time we went in one, we saw 10 things we wanted. I mean, this. But we ended up buying a black and white sweater that was, I think, one size fits all. Anyway,
Sequins.
it was really
beautiful.
pretty. And I'm sorry that you are bound to have had it last because I keep everything.
I don't have it.
You
I
don't
think
have
you've
it.
made a mistake. However, I do remember that quickly. She had done this to me once before. I had said, Norma, do you wear Halloween sweaters the month of, October when it's Halloween?
Of
And
course.
she said, I have a lot of them and I wear them. And I said, I've got one. If you want to wear a couple of days, you can have it. And you said, I want it the entire month of October, and you got hold of it and you wouldn't get it, and you brought it back in November.
I mean, you could wear it December.
Halloween. But this time we bought a red and white.
I thought it was
black
black
and white had sequins. And then you said, I got it for December, which is when we
When we have
dress up.
parties, right? It was really nice. And I hate we don't have that, but I don't think I have it.
I hate we don't too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you might have it. Because
Well,
I know I've been cleaning my closet
well,
all
I
year.
haven't been.
But that's
so
okay if it's
I might-
gone. If she's gone, she's gone.
Right, but-
Okay.
And you
Here's-
have pictures of this, but we can't find them.
Well,
either.
I've got the one of you, but I think it's very suspicious that the picture of Norma with the sevens we have. Mine disappeared. And you had the camera and you got it made. You're going to pull mine out on me at my worst
Mhm.
day.
Right.
All right, here's another question. Wasn't that fun?
That was.
We just look at each other and start laughing about. But while I made notes. I made notes with a lot of things. This is what I think.
I did too, but I left mine.
I know what
home.
you
I left them
left
at
at
home.
Okay, I think with the boys, meaning our husbands, we went to senior games in San Antonio, Pittsburgh, LSU, Virginia Beach, Stanford, Tucson, Arizona, Louisville, Cleveland, Ohio, and Houston, Texas. But you and I have been on, and boy, Tony, we couldn't even list yours on this tablet. Salt Lake City, Denver, Jacksonville, Florida, Nashville, Tennessee, New York City, shopping and a wedding. Huntsville, I was telling them about the wedding. Auburn, where you went with me to Auburn, Canada and Hawaii. No, Colorado and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
That's
that
a
trip.
lot
That was a lot.
for somebody
that was a bad trip.
doesn't even know why they were
Canadian
there.
trip was the one. I think we might have to cover that today. Wouldn't let us in, wouldn't let us out. Okay. Mary N. Russell Glover. I love you when you and your bestest friend are together. What is the quality about each other that you appreciate the most? Well, the quality I like the most about Norma Rose is she likes me. She does things and she's always there for you. But we don't see each other like people think we do.
No, because of lots of things, dizziness or whatever. And then all those speeches Tony's talking about, it's going to be a long fall for me. But I think you always just show respect for what I do and what I've done and who I am, even though I'm not a speaker.
Oh, I know a lot of speakers.
But you show a lot of respect for that.
Well, the hardest thing for me is I don't hang around. I don't want to go all the time and hang with people and sit in the yard every day and talk to somebody. And I think I had to learn you have to give a little time to make a friend. You have to be a friend. Mm-hmm. And I do not like to sit and talk on the telephone. And so the best thing for me is to hear Norma Rose say, do you have time for me to come for a cup of coffee? And I know a trick that I figured out about you, and I don't know if you realize it or not. You always go to someone else's house. And then instead of wanting them to come to your house. And the reason is you can leave when you want to.
That's a good
one. I know you do that.
But a lot of times I'm going somewhere else. I got about 5 things going on. You just got 1, 2, 3, and I leave here and I go to the grocery store and I go here, go to Salvation Army. And so I got it all well planned.
And you come here and we sit out there and we say brag or talk or tell me anything you know. We're not gossiping. We're just going on.
Trying to catch up. But it's quiet and I know I pick my times. Try to pick my times when.
Can you come in the house and know that it's not a good time?
I can look, see who's parked and
sort of, and not come in.
And I not come in. I said, this is not my time. And then when I get in, maybe it's not a good time either. But.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 5 people here today before y'all got here for the show at 11 o'clock. People just come in and eat, and it's wonderful. By the way, I guess y'all have already dived into the donuts upstairs. Linda from Ada, Oklahoma.
You are kidding me. I have not seen them.
Maybe I didn't mention them.
You did not mention that.
Don't y'all think we can sound? I have one story where I try to talk Norma into driving me on my first trip back after my broken femur. And I said, Norma, will you drive me down to Destin? I'm going to try to make her speak. And she said, drive you where? That's the way you say, drive you where? How long will that take? And then I said, well, it's 10.5 hours down there. And it's 10.5 hours back. She said, I have to drive you back too. I don't fly home. And I said, no, you don't fly home. And the story goes on. Okay, can y'all talk like you're best friends? We can talk. People think we're sisters sometimes because they say, well, you sound alike. And I say, oh my gosh.
But back to those donuts. Linda,
I went right over those.
Linda, I believe I'm going to like this as much as I like that jewelry that she sent.
She sends jewelry.
But you have sent donuts.
Paul's donuts, not just
Paul's
donuts.
I will
Paul's
go.
Donuts.
I'm
That's
taking me
made
some
here
Paul's.
in Burlington.
I know how to divide by 3, so I will get my fair share.
You are a math teacher.
Yeah. Well, 3 into it. I'm taking my third.
We can't convince you that your share is 1.
Y'all came,
here.
y'all came in and were upstairs for a while. You don't tell me you don't think somebody's already eaten half. People, they come in, they break off half of this donut and break off half
I
of
haven't
that
seen
donut.
any, so.
Well, not this trip.
But I'm going to get it. Thank you, Linda. Thank you.
Are we missing some good questions here?
No, I think, tell real quickly why you all actually met. Because a lot of people have asked that who missed it when you've told it before. How you all became friends.
It takes a while for me to become a friend.
Well, how you all met.
How we met, though. I know exactly. You want to tell it?
I told the last. You can tell this, but I'll correct you if you make a mistake.
Correct me.
I will correct you.
Our sons were 1 year apart in high school, and so we didn't even know who they were. Or Jerry knew. Left Brain is my Jerry. He knew Alan was athletic director at Elon because we're sports people. But when Beaver, our son, was in the 7th grade, then their son Kyle was in the 8th grade. So you went to the different ball games. We usually play them when y'all have left because that team rolled on or we were before y'all. But when they got into high school, they moved Beaver up a year, which put him on the varsity with Kyle.
They moved him up in basketball.
And no,
They did
yeah,
not
they didn't
skip
move
a
him up
grade.
in school.
I didn't want you to sound like you skipped a grade. Or
No,
something.
they put him on the varsity. And then we started going to the same games. And we see y'all sitting over there. And I remember I kept saying to the left brain, that lady over there dresses up for the games. You think we're supposed to be dressing up for the varsity games?
I didn't want them to think it was Kyle's grandmother coming. I'm real particular about that.
And so then before long, Jerry and left brain and Alan would be talking to each other. And fast forward, we started going games together. Then Kyle graduated. Kyle went to play football at Wake Forest, and then they put him on the basketball team.
A guy who didn't have a shot at all. But anyway, he could.
So by then
around.
we were good friends, and we started going to Elon events because it's 2 miles. You can walk there from here. It's not even 2 miles, and we like sports. Sports have helped so many more people than have been hurt by sports or have hurt the reputation of sports. And we started sitting together. We'd at the Elon games, and I mean, right in the middle of somebody scoring, that's when you said, "Have you ever thought about getting larger dreams?" Because you said, I said, "What is she? What are you thinking about?" I said, "The man just scored, Norma."
And this is a tight game, but I was thinking about my Christmas list, and I had a lot on my mind.
I know. When you're athletic director's wife, you can sit. They see there's 17 sports, and they went to every one of them. They'd go out of town, and she'd be sitting there grading papers. And then say, "I'm gonna run to the ladies. I'll be gone a while." You go out and leave the stadium and grade papers in the car.
And Edwina, one of your fans, I taught her children who were great, and so I was grading their papers. I did.
Yeah.
They were great.
We just hit it off. We're the same age. We got children virtually the same age. Started doing things together. Both of us have a sense of humor. I like looking for humor, and she does too.
And I was more southern than Jeanne, so she found it.
Oh yeah, I'm a Yankee. Yeah,
She thought
her accent.
It's very.
Then the first trip
flat.
we went on, I would say, was Vegas. And then we have just gone. We went to when Alan retired. We said he's graduating. He's finally graduating. And we went to Hawaii.
Maui.
Oh, that was so much. Okay, here's one. Thank you. Yay for having Norma Rose as a guest. She is so creative. Where do you get your ideas, Norma Rose?
Well, they want to know about. She said she was going to talk about her jewelry. She has, so
let's
that's
don't run short.
And
on
I
that.
won't go too deep into this because there are people like Howard and Ian and
Howard Arnold.
that go
Ian from Scotland.
Yeah, and I wish I
So
could
there
go
are
to see
men
this.
here. David Vaughn.
They are not going to enjoy this. But
Tell them
my
something.
mom was so resourceful, as I said, and she could take anything and make something pretty out of it. And just she could sew and cook and create, and that's where it all came from. There were artists in our family, but I didn't get that. But I am creative. So today, I've shown you.
Show them some of this stuff.
I'm not going to do
Tell
much.
them about that thing.
Okay, I wore this today because what I do, I bought this as a consignment shop in Blowing Rock, really. And I think I paid $1.50 for this chain. And then you look around and I have some pieces. I always liked estate jewelry. And it dawned on me. You live long enough, you got your own estate jewelry. This bracelet I had in college. So it's estate.
When your own jewelry becomes antique.
I know.
I'm there. But, I just have a drawer full of pendants.
Let me move it up close.
So,
Are those your initials?
No,
No,
that was
they're
my
not.
great aunt's.
Okay. But look.
See, but what I do, and some of you girls are going to love this, I used to go to the jeweler and pay, and then by the time I got it home, I want to put something else on it.
Yeah.
I had something better, So what I do is go to Michael's, and I get this little wire, It's very flexible. Don't get thick, get very thin. And I get 2 colors, silver and gold. And I just put a little piece in there. And then when I don't want it anymore, I just clip it off and put me something else on there. But it's just real friendly. You can put anything.
The wire.
Yes, the wire. It is. I got it at Michael's, and you just cut off a little piece, and then when you don't want it anymore, I like things to hang at a certain place, long down here or up here. And if it's not long enough, sometimes I'll just I could have used wire here. It was a little piece of leather, and made it longer.
That's where you want, and that's a beautiful cross.
And I wanted it to hit down there, so I just went in the back and it made me an extender. I tied that.
And that's a pretty cross. Where did you get that?
In high school.
In high school.
It's a state. It's a state. I got a state. But
I love that.
Now I got this in a consignment shop. It could have come.
Weren't we together when you bought that?
This was in that little shop across from Zach's downtown. She had things $2 or $3. But then I had this silver dollar that was in this little bezel here or whatever, and I just wired it on here, but I can cut it off anytime I want to.
That's amazing.
And hang something else on there.
Where'd you get this cross?
Okay.
One of her activities is you still go to the Bible. Are y'all back going yet?
Well, but my Bible study teacher got sick too.
Okay.
And she's young, but she had some health things. But anyway, way back, it was during my cancer when I first had the cancer thing. I got it on backwards here. It was Betty Roberts gave me this. And then I'm out walking and I lost this side of it. And I thought it was in my house, and I just had to find it. And then the next day I got it on my mind and I looked down on this big street out here in Burlington. At my foot was this piece.
Are you serious?
I am telling you, it was a miracle. And so I did a decoupage thing and put something back here and put it back together because this was the original one. And this seems to be a little long. Sometimes when they're too long and I got on a jacket, I'll put that wire in the back and shorten it.
Because you just cut it off.
Yeah. Well, this, I think I could. Anyway, but that, and sometimes, those people who just real tiny people, they had these belts. And who could wear a belt like this? But they got them in shops. Jane liked this idea.
Yeah.
And so when it's a little belt, it can become a necklace. And then you can hang things on this.
Who would wear that? A child. Why would a child wear that?
But it said a belt, and so it would be a small lady, but not me. So I hung it around my neck. Now this is a bigger belt right here. Now I don't like this. I don't wear this too much, but here you can hook it anywhere you wanted to make it any length you wanted to.
You got that in the flea market?
I think I bought this in a store. Nobody wanted it because what would you do with it? But it makes a great necklace. It's a great necklace. And you can hang, you could hang this on it. I could just clip this off and hang it there. And I know Howard and Ian had enough here. But this is one I bought last week, the other week when I was in Blowing Rock. And I think it was $1.50. So I can hang something on there.
Do most of the stuff you have to polish up and clean and all that?
I do. This right here I had gathered up some other things that I misplaced, so I had to go back and get some other new. But this was really and I use it was black when I looked at it yesterday. But I have good luck with in Walmart at the auto department there. They have things that they clean cars with, but it says cleans any kind of metal. It's called Mothers, MOTHERN, and it'll cut through it better than Wright's silver.
Anything.
And there's a blue one in there too that it'll just take it off in a heartbeat. And while I was buying this in Blowing Rock, I got some silver pieces for my Christmas things, and they were about $1 a piece. One had two pieces was $3. It was half price, it was $1.50. So
Because she gives out her chocolate sauce and stuff like that at Christmas, but she gives them in gorgeous little
pictures,
containers and pictures and so. But you're the queen of saving money. And when you go to the flea market, sometimes Jane Tucker and I will go, and Norma, the three of us. And it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. When we go into the shop, everybody says, "Oh, let's have," and you just go in 3 different directions. Mm-hmm. And then everybody's going because you don't want to arrive at something at the same time, because then everybody likes the same thing. Now, we would offered to take Tony with us to an antique store. Why don't you go, Tony? Would we have to tie you up?
Yes.
Oh, well, she didn't want to go, and I didn't do anything like that. All right, here comes another question.
But back to this, this is a new, it was a Susan Shaw or something, but you could take this off and put something else on it if you didn't want to, or put this somewhere else. And this little cross has a little gizmo on it, and I don't know where I found it. It has a little spring in it, so you can do it with, with a little circular thing.
But you spend a lot of time on this. I just want to go in and open my suitcase in different pieces of jewelry, crawl over and jump in.
And jump around your neck
and jump around and please match with my earrings if I have any earrings.
Well, I just leave this kind of thing out and change it if I want to.
I'm going to take them in a few weeks to my closet. We have it down. We got to have Patrick show my new closet. How I got. All right, let me get another question here. We got other things.
And guys, I'm about to close up my part on this.
On that, but listen, Norma Rose, you are very crafty. I love how you decorate things and make them look glamorous like Christmas plants. Is this a natural talent? Well, you said your mother. This is Joyce Fault, Faught Duke.
Yeah, I got that. My mother always had pretty flowers on our table in the house from the farm. And so when I saw those little poinsettias, they have the big ones, but I like the smaller ones. I thought, well, that's just going to be great. And then I used to use fresh stuff, but it got to be, I did slip in some artificial, and it made it more usable.
Well, let me tell them what for 30 some years, had hot dog suppers for the neighbors. But even at that, I decorated and did that. And then we fed the Elon basketball team, men and women, and tennis team. Mm-hmm. And Norma, right at the first, our friendship was just kind of going along. And she said, "So you going to decorate?" So kind of like that. Mm-hmm. "You going to decorate?" And I said, "I'm going to put something out. I got some stuff." And she said, "Let me help you with that." And I thought you in the business or something.
And then I like to put the little miniature lights on it, because that really sparkles.
The whole porch sparkles.
It just really.
But you come back and get them for the next year. But no, y'all, let me finish. So the first time she said, "Tell me how many centerpieces you might need." Mm-hmm. And it was when the neighbors were coming. And I said, counting up I said, 18 or 19.
And we had them in the bathroom everywhere.
I know it. Was like, I know it. But Wonderland.
Thank you, y'all. If you can, y'all all can do that. It doesn't take much time and effort. And
I can't do it. Maybe I don't enjoy it. And then I feel bad. You come and get all the baskets and stuff. And take
somebody want to know my favorite gift. And it's this red knife.
Oh, you got to show
It's the red knife. And everybody who gets it, it'll cut everything, boxes, your hand. It's great for tomato. And I gave Tony one. Y'all remember
finally,
the charcuterie board thing?
Day, I finally got one.
And Tony says it's her.
Yeah, I can't ever let it go in the dishwasher because I'm busy. I don't wash dishes off. Since I don't cook very often, I don't wash dishes very often.
We're not selling the knife.
I'm not selling.
We're just telling you that it's the best knife.
But
tell them what she. Well, first of all, these two stories run together. When her son got married, she said, "Now we do the Friday night. We'll be having a dinner party after rehearsal." She said, "I'm just trying to let people know it's in Raleigh, and we just can't invite everybody that we know in Burlington to come to that." Mm-hmm. And then she said to me, I want you and Left Brain to come, though, because you are my bestest friend. I felt so honored. Got over there. There were 10 more women in our group. Every one of them said, "Did she tell you you were her bestest friend?" And I said, "Yeah." So I started calling her my bestest friend and everybody else in town. But when you give up, it was so funny that night. I finally went and said, "Norma Rose, how many bestest friends do you have?"
Well, a lot of them I call best friends, and then it went to bestest.
Yeah.
When you approached me, my mind clicked in, and she said, "Who?" You said, "Who am I?" And I said, "Well, at Wake Forest, that's what I said. We learned in the English class it was good, better, best, and bestest." And I don't think at Auburn they were teaching that at that time. And you said,
"We didn't do grammar at Auburn."
And you said, "Oh yes, I learned it down there too." And from there on, the bestest, and it was
never
the
let
best.
it rest till the good get better and the better get best. Now we're showing our age.
No, never heard that.
You never heard that?
Never heard that. Alabama, we didn't.
You didn't do that?
People do want to know how they can get the red knife.
And I want you to tell now she has something that when she gives you a red knife, she says one thing to all of us. And I start laughing every time she comes over and people are going by. You're very generous. You order them by the dozens.
I do. Okay.
And tell them what you say. I know what you said.
Well, they think I own the company, and they just say, "Oh, thank you." And just like this, they write me. And this young girl at Elon, she wrote me. I had lunch with her. I took it. And she said, "Oh, thank you." And then she said, "You're on to something."
I know. But what you said to me, and I've heard you tell everybody
you
else.
cut anything,
Jane. And everybody's saying, "Can I get 3? Can I get 5?" Blah, blah. But this is from one of my sharpest friends.
Yeah, from a sharpest friend. You're the sharpest.
No, let me hear. She said,
"Sharpest knife in the drawer."
Sharpest knife in the drawer. I want you to have this, and I don't give them to a lot of people.
Oh, I've given thousands.
But you're one of my. But you tell each person. You're one of my sharpest friends. I think you're one of the sharpest knives in the drawer. And you give it to people and they think, "Oh, how special I am. You doing it."
And I will get off of this, but when repairmen come, I want them to remember me because I need their help. And I'll say, "I'm going to give you this and just appreciate your work today." And they'll always come back and say, "I want some of those." That's the best thing. Anyway,
if they looked it up.
And I will come to your house anytime you want me to come, is what they say. And a guy was there yesterday and he said, "I'll come back anytime." I said, "That's why you're special." But anyway, this is just one of my go-to gifts. And I've even used it for brides and grooms and the school color here. You can get it in different, and you have it engraved. So
website. Is there a website?
But what if they cost? They don't cost that much.
I think the most I pay is $8.50, but you can get them on sale. They all run sales because it's a huge company, and it's the one that they have all the pocket knives. VICTO.
Victor Inox. VICTORINOX. But I've watched people's faces and they say, "Oh, thank you so much." And then I'll go and I'll say, "You be careful you don't cut your hand off with that knife because you can do it." And I said, "It really don't just throw this in the drawer or somewhere and forget about it. This thing is really good." And then I say, Tony, "If you don't want yours, I do."
But anyway, I don't work for the company, but it's just one of those things, just a go-to gift. And it's affordable, and it's really helped a lot of people.
And since I don't shop, I go to flea markets. I don't go dress shopping. The things don't fit me. They're just not long enough and all of that kind of stuff. But sometime Norma came in. I never came in. I don't know how many sets of china. And then all of a sudden she came in and said, "You are not going to believe this. Just let me get them out of the car." And I said, "Well, what is it?" And you had been at Replacements, and they had Linux plates stacked in my color. My house is blue and white. We have things that go with it, but there's navy stuff like that. And you had bought 50 of them for $5 each. And they're gorgeous, and they're trimmed in gold. And I went right to the internet and I said, How did you get these for $5 each?
Maybe they had a flaw, but I should have bought everything they had. But they have been good ones. My daughter-in-laws loved them.
But now she's told me that her daughter-in-law loves them so much that if I could leave my 25, I paid you for them. If
I don't know about that now.
If I could leave them, Amy could use
Well,
them.
I'll buy them back for $5.
Oh, no. I use them all the time. No,
I want them for $5. I pay 10 for them.
And you go and tell them about. So when one Thanksgiving we were having a big weekend for our family where everybody was coming up here and all, and she said, "Well, you really just become friends. Do you have desserts in your house the entire week?" And I said, "No. Why?" She said, "You need desserts, and you brought us 17 pies from your mother."
Mm-hmm. Mama she loved it.
Did y'all hear me? 17 pies. There were pies everywhere. A small crowd turned into a gigantuan when they kept saying, "Guys, go to the Jerry and Jeannie's because they got pies out over there."
But she loved Jeannie, and y'all may remember she died at about 102 last year when I was in Utah. But we'd talk and we'd be on the phone. I'd go and we'd sit there and she said, "Well, tell me about Jeannie. I don't know if you ever knew that."
No.
Mm-hmm. She always asked, and sometimes I didn't know. I just make up something.
I think they remember right before COVID, you went on 4 or 5 speeches with me.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to Salt Lake City and then Denver. Mm-hmm. And your sister was in Denver. Mm-hmm. And so you said, "I want to go on the Denver trip." Mm-hmm. And I said, "You got to go to Salt Lake City first." Mm-hmm. And we went and that's when you passed out on the plane.
When I wore all the clothes.
She doesn't even drink, but I told her she could only take one rolling cart. And she put on 5 wool outfits and
it works. I said, "Great,
you passed out on the plane."
You put on a blouse and a vest and a sweater and a jacket, and it really helps out.
And then as we are flying, the flight attendant saying, "If there is a doctor on board," and I looked across the aisle and Norma was out cold. Said, "How many clothes has she got on?" I said, "I don't know. I'm not who she's traveling with."
But I got over it real quickly.
But when we got there, we were supposed to meet for breakfast the next day, and your mom had died. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was this last year. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks later, we went to Houston, Crockett, Snook, and we came home. And do you remember, we were so involved in my speeches and what we were doing. We actually were saying things like, "There are more people wearing masks in the airport."
We are clueless. What is going on?
Wonder why. Look at, they even have one on their child.
We don't have anything
think we're
like
supposed
that.
To have that on. They didn't say so. And came home and they said, "At 5:00 tomorrow, beauty salons everywhere in North Carolina,
schools, churches, everybody was closed."
We were oblivious.
And that was the time I lost my license. But
I remember. You can't get on.
And I won't get into that, but I did. I got out there and I wasn't worried until I started coming back, and they told me I would never get out of that airport. But
when I'm thinking, one of us has a driver's license, and we are in Houston, Texas, and who's going to have to rent a car and drive us back to North Carolina?
And they looked at me and they didn't want us driving. They said, "That lady said, I'll help you.
We'll get you on the plane."
It was.
Or here's another question.
And they helped us.
What's the time? I'm having way too much fun. Look at all these things we put out here to tell them about.
Well, you showed. Have you done? Is there more on the plate?
Well, on that Thanksgiving, she said, "I can get Christmas china wholesale. And if it's Thanksgiving weekend, it's the time you can go and put that out for this big event that we were having. And you can have it out all week." And I said, "I don't want a thing of Christmas china." She said, "This is very different, and I can show you how to use it." So before I knew it, you had a set of 24, and I did too.
And my sister, I had forgotten about it, but I got my sister some, and she didn't like stuff like that.
And I didn't. I did not have a Christmas pattern because I didn't want a Christmas pattern. But all of a sudden, I had a Christmas pattern, and it was this. And I said, "Well, that's."
It was the tartan plan.
But then Norma said, "But we're not going to use it like they think we are." Do y'all remember this one? Mm-hmm. She said, "We're not going to use it because you've got all that flow blue, and we're just going to get the big plates and the such and suches. And then when we have something like this right here, That's a piece of flow blue, and if y'all don't know what that is, you're not in the South.
Right.
And it's all runny on the back. So if you put the flow blue inside the tartan plaids, you don't need as much. You can use the flow blue salads and flow blue desserts and everything else. And this was expensive, this plate. And I don't know what that is.
Well, I got an audience here. I want to talk to you about
Okay.
this channel.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Then this blue plate is nothing, maybe $1, $2. You can put it and use it as bread. You know, there's
Bread
ways not to have the whole pattern.
Match.
But as I recall it, we bought right much of that stuff, and I was in such a dizzy of what was happening at my house that you just started bringing it in by the boxes.
Well,
Now, what do you want
but
to
my
talk to me?
sister recently in her attic, she had never used hers, and she found 8-place setting, I think, and she said,
I want 4.
no. She said, I'm going to ship this to you. It's yours because I want you to have it. And my daughter-in-law, who entertains a lot. So I'm going to give Amy mine plus my sister's. And then if you don't mind, because Amy does lots of big 50, 75 people parties, I will need yours. So don't give it to anybody else. I get first dibs.
Well, all right.
But I'm not. You don't have to tell me today.
She wants my stuff. I can't believe. All right, but let me show y'all. See this white place? This is the story with my sister, the big platter. She still has my big platter. I'll point that out.
Her big platter.
It's my big platter, but she thinks it's her. But then, if you just take the white, I used this last time, and put in it a piece of that plaid, and you do your whole table and have some of the plaid, it looks like a big Christmas all
And
over.
sometimes we do gold chargers or navy.
Well, one day she came over and she handed me a box that I could barely pick up. And she said, I want you to keep these for a while at your house. I'm giving them to you. And I said, well, you just said for a while at my house. And it was a silver plate platters.
We needed that stuff from Walmart to clean those up. I didn't know about them.
Chargers.
Yeah. Now, who uses a charger? But you now give away gifts. So she gave, I said, Norma, where am I supposed to keep this? I don't use chargers. Chargers are those big things. And she said, well, you might, Jeanne, I got these for $1 each or something like that.
Well, yeah.
And they are beautiful. Now, the only problem is you just need to polish them about once a year. For 15 years, I pulled those things out from under my sofa in the living room, which is where I was keeping them, and polished them. And then she said, just throw those things away or give them back to me. I don't want them back. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
They're still upstairs.
And a lot of people don't use chargers anymore. But when I had dinner parties, I'll never forget Dick Shirley. It was just more plates on his plate. And when he got down to dessert, he came in with his charger. They said, no, that's part of the table set.
Okay. So years ago, Left Brain and I wanted to make a contribution to Elon. And we wanted to do something in athletics because that helped both of us so much. And but we wanted to honor, we didn't want to put our name up there, and we were going to honor Norma. And their last name is White, Dr. Alan White, Norma Rose White, Norma White. And we were going to honor them, but we know Alan. Mm-hmm. And the minute we would have told Alan that we want to name the track and field area after him, mm-hmm. Do you remember?
Yeah, he would have said
no.
You don't need to do that.
No. So we told Alan we were going to do this in honor of my daddy who had run track at Auburn. And then I went and told Dr. Lambert, the president, and no one else except the people at Elon who make the signs. And so we were all out there. The trustees were out there, and Alan had worked on his speech and gotten all this information about Daddy.
And he's giving the speech.
And Alan is in the middle of giving the speech. And I stepped up and I said, excuse me, Alan.
And I'm thinking, this is not funny. You be quiet. This is
not funny. And Alan is thinking the same thing. I cannot believe she is interrupting me in front of the trustees, the faculty, the people who give to Elon and all that. And I said, may I please just say something? And he didn't like it. I could tell. There's a little vein that came out.
He had his plan.
He had his plan, and he was athletic director. And I said, we're really not honoring my daddy. I'm going to cry telling you this. And somebody pulled a cord, and the big sign in honor of Jim Swana came falling down. It said, Alan and Norma White track. And I'm telling you, Alan, but what made me think about it was she was going to give a dinner party at her house for us that night. And everybody that was invited had given to Elon, and you had a stand who went to Elon, and most people did not go to Elon. They went somewhere else, which was illustrating a very nice point. And plates, forks, knives, and that. And Dick Shirley was there that night. And I'm sure said, "What is all this china and stuff out?" But what was so funny was Norma had the dinner party. Norma planned the party. She worried over this thing for months, not knowing the party was for them.
And then it about put me in the hospital.
I know.
It really did. I thought I was
people
going to
said,
hospital.
"Don't you feel bad that Norma worked all that time and the party was for herself?" And I said, "I don't feel bad about it at all. What's the problem? We had a good time."
It was. I'm glad I did it, but
Okay,
it was an ordeal.
Well, we got to give away.
Can I tell?
Yeah.
At Hell's
Because
Kitchen.
they did not believe that we found stuff like this.
At Hell's Kitchen in New York, when we were with Jane Tucker, and we went to the flea market down there. This is one purse that I bought, and it's a WILARDS. I guess that's some fancy brand, but
What did you pay for it?
I don't know, but it wasn't much. But it just caught my eye. And this strap, I've never worked on it, but I would know. I could figure out how to lengthen this, but it just.
Can I tell them? We went into it was in Hell's Kitchen, a part in New York,
section on
and
the
they
street.
were having a flea market on Saturday in the street. It absolutely in the street. And so we said, well, we got to get down there. And we went down there, and the first thing we saw was a table overloaded with purses. And I just walked on by. And she went over and pulled out 3 or 4 really brand name purses. And she was going to get some more. And the lady came up and said, no, enough. No more good purses, because she knew that Norma knew her purses. So then we went down and we kept walking, and I didn't see this. Do you remember this, Tom? I can barely.
I remember seeing this.
This is the heaviest thing you will ever talk. That's
my weightlifting.
But this is the Auburn AU. I walked right. It's heavy, Norma.
Oh, no.
But I walked. There were 2 of them, and so bookends. And Norma said, Jeannie, come back. And it shows I'm just going through having a good time looking for stories. She's looking for stuff. So we bought these 2, and we bought something for Jane too. I said, how will we get these in our bags and get them home? I mean, this thing must weigh 10 pounds.
And this knife, I've given it to people traveling, and I don't understand it, but they put it in their suitcase even now, and they have gotten it home. But I don't know how that works.
Well, if you check your luggage, it wouldn't be a problem.
If you check it,
Taking it on board might be a problem.
But I like to.
Someone just said on here that 800 people just ordered a knife.
I know.
Because they had put up how to find them and where they are.
I'm sure.
I mean, it's life changing.
It is life changing. The problem is I got like 6 of them, and I reached for them first. So the other ones, you wish they weren't in the bag.
But I need a second
Okay.
one.
So I'm
going
going
to every time I use it.
Because you do a lot for me.
Okay, we got to give some more prizes and
Yeah, you
stuff.
need to hurry because
I
it's
know.
2 minutes.
Okay, I will get that out. And I was going to tell, here's the things that we did not get to talk about. The Christmas china we did, the day we fought over this
But when
tiger.
this topic
You
comes up
remember?
again, I'm going to have some people on my side.
Explain the
They
tiger.
should come back to
real
me.
quick.
They know about the tiger because it went to a flea market, and it was Jane and Norma and myself. Can you pick him up?
And I really want
He's
it.
not heavy. He's like
Yeah. Her son was at grandson was at Clemson, and I just walked by it. I never broke stride. I saw $20 on it. And then when I walked up to pay for it, Norma said, "You found that for me?" And I said, "No, this is not for you. This is for me." And you couldn't believe it.
I
You
was
could-
going to give it to
Auburn tiger.
Dabo.
It's not a Clemson tiger. It's an Auburn tiger.
It's an Auburn tiger. He's being nice.
Clemson
boy.
tiger has funny looking
Okay,
eyes.
so if we do this again, okay, here's where I'm hoping y'all are gonna help me here. So would you do this again sometime, Norma?
After I get
Will you
here,
tell us how to make your brownies?
yes,
You
I will do the
leave out an
brownies.
ingredient.
I will help
Best
you with
you'll
the
ever
brownies.
eat.
That's a real treasure right there, the
I know.
brownies.
We got all these things. The time we got held up in immigration and I lost it and you got us out of there.
Mhm.
Oh man. Anyway, I would
When
like to
Jeannie,
do
it doesn't work with Jeannie, I just say step back. And when they hear me talk, they just say, "Could I help you? Anything you
They
want."
held us up, and I had all my papers. I had done everything the right way. And they said, "Why are you coming?" I'm here to make a speech. And they said, "Well, a Canadian can make that speech." And we do the same thing when they're coming in the United States because we love Canada. And then they made us sit over and wait and wait and wait. And I had wanted it to be a perfect trip for you.
Yeah.
And now we couldn't even get out of the airport in Canada. And finally, I began to get upset. And Norma turned to me and she said, "Be quiet and let me handle this." And so here I go around the country. Well, keep a sense of humor. Keep a sense of humor. She went up and she said, "Do you like football? My husband used to play for the what? Edmonton,
Alberta.
and within 20, 25 minutes, we had our papers and we were out of there." I said,
It was-
"Okay." We got lots of
And you know,
stories.
we went to an antique store there.
Mhm.
We always found shops, and I bought a little spoon there, like a bonbon spoon. So I got lots of memories.
You have to eat so many bonbons to fill up.
Yeah, but I've passed that on to my granddaughter.
Oh.
My daughter-in-law, excuse me.
Well, I'll just say I'm the one that had to learn. Tony's like a sister. Everybody said, "Well, I don't know why Tony is your best friend." I said, "Well, she could be,
We all.
but we all are."
I did not apply for that job.
Okay. You really do. I've learned I have to calm down and spend a little more time being a friend if you're going to have a bestest friend. And y'all taught me that because I'm very, very busy,
In Boston, and when we read
I
Friends,
forgot about going to Boston.
Oh, and the friends, all friends are friends. It was on that
Yep.
little restaurant we ate
Yep.
in, and that's the treasure there.
That you're right.
It was right there on
Well,
the
y'all,
table.
let's
Okay.
give away the audio
Give
book.
away, well, you've only given 3 prizes.
All right,
I
we're
know
going to
you've
give
only
away
given some
3 more right away,
Yeah,
and then we're
let's
going to give away the
more
audio
prizes
book.
and then do the audio.
And here are the prizes, and you must let Tony know your name and all. This is, oh no, it can't be. It's Gene Black from Anniston, Alabama. Y'all saw me go all around. He's so fun. And when your ship comes in, are you going to buy? That was when Weaver was here. No, it has to be the month of May, and that's when. Okay, Gene Black. You got his number about memorized, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got it. I've got
Gene,
it.
let us know what you want and to whom.
And
You might have too much stuff, Jean. You may not.
I do not have any
decline.
knives. I'm not sending out
I
knives.
asked it, Linda, Prim, if you're still on, put up the Tony at Jeanne Robertson link so they know where to write and tell me what they want.
All right, here's
Somebody put that up on the comments.
Thank
'cause
you.
I can't do that, and we need
Okay.
to know.
Sandy McCoy, MC, little c, big COY. And she doesn't tell me where she's from, but she has won one of the regular prizes. Knives
Sandy.
not included.
Was that Sandy?
We should have given away knives today. Yeah.
I should
I'm
talk
not
to
bailing
the
knives.
knife company
I'm
to
not
see if
bailing
they
knives.
can help me.
Or that thin wire, gold and silver. All right, this is the last of this group, and then we do the big prize. And this goes to Ellen Winner, WINNER. Okay. Jeanne Robertson is one of the funniest, most delightful people I have ever seen. But now you know why I got good friends.
We've
And-
rubbed off on her.
I know it. So now I'm going to give away the
Audio.
7-hour audio book. And if you don't like that and you don't want it, you can choose something else. But you might want to get this and take it to somewhere where the people are not able to get out.
Jeannie, right now I've got to say something, and
All
I'm
right.
not going to name names because she doesn't want them named, but someone who won one of our audio books in the past asked that we send it anonymously to her local nursing home group. So I just think that
That's
was an
really-
awfully sweet thing to do, and it is gone, and hopefully it'll be well enjoyed.
That makes me feel good. If it's in South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, we've sent them
They
one
already got one.
to everybody
No,
for
it-
free.
It was not. I'm not going to say where. 'Cause
Okay.
that-
Okay. All right. So here's the name that's going to win this prize today. And this is Priya, Priya, B. Haraharan, Hariharan. How did you and Norma Rose meet? We covered that. And was she always your bestest friend, or did it take some time? Yeah.
And that was in an era when they didn't use bestest like they do today.
I know it.
You
Everybody's
know,
saying bestest
25,
friend
I mean, that many years ago, whatever, I've forgotten.
in the 80s.
Nobody did that. But now it's in the dictionary probably.
Okay, Tony, this is an unusual spelling for private.
Yeah, let me
You
have
would
that.
look at that. That would be great. And everybody, I do want to take one more 30 seconds. Next week, you were a great guest.
Y'all were the best.
But we're moving on now.
Are they going to big
I
time?
know. Kelly Swanson from High Point, North Carolina will be our special guest. And we have never had anybody on like Kelly. She's a character. She's a real character. I don't know who she'll come dressed as. I don't know what she'll do. She's a storyteller, and it's quite successful. And I know her through the National Speakers Association, and because we live 35 miles from each other. I don't know where I pick up all these other odd people, not you, Norma Rose.
Right, not me.
No.
I'm not abnormal. Really?
Abnormal. Hey, y'all, if you can do this, I'm scooting over here. Here's my
Where are you
saying.
going?
Most smiles start from another smile.
Mhm.
And now we're getting our mascot.
Mhm.
And it says somebody sent me that card and I tagged it up on my wall. I just put a nail in the wall. But most smiles start from another aisle. So give away a bunch of your smiles. Won't hurt. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you for.
Thank you, Norma Rose.
Thank you
I know
for
you're still
people.
not 100%.
Howard and Ian and David Vaughn. Thank you for
the men hanging in there. Okay. We appreciate it. And y'all make people happy if you can. Tony, do you want to say anything?
Nope.
You just want to get out of here?
I'm just moving.
We got a big day planned.
Standing up.
Bye, y'all. Thank you. Keep laughing. See, we don't have a little song to play today, and we don't know how to
You will
sing.
sing.
All I know is happy
Are we
birthday.
still on it?
No, we're
Jean's out
fixing to
here.
get off.
You're
See
going
right
on
here. End broadcast.
End it.